Will I ever have kids? Why do you care? Welcome back to Slow Roll. My name is Stephanie. Videos every Wednesday on disability and the day-to-day. Today I wanted to speak about really question that I used to get quite a bit, now a question that I don't get very much. And that's, will you guys have kids? When are you having kids? It's a question that over the years that I've existed, the conversation around children has changed from, a conversation that was really about when are you having kids? It was a must in society to more of a taboo conversation to have, asking, when are you having your next child? Will you ever have a child? All these things when people have issues with fertility or disabilities or unknown issues like financial concerns and things of that nature. And it's something that I struggled a lot in my 20s. And I think as we're kind of dead set in the middle of Mother's Day and with Father's Day coming up on Sunday, I really wanted to address this subject for me personally, and just to have a few comments with regards to chronic illness and the reason as to whether or not you want a family or not. So my journey in people asking me whether or not I wanted to be a mom actually started quite young. Into my teen years, I think it was a conversation during one of our health classes that we had. And I remember certain people in my class talking about, yeah, I absolutely want kids and it's something I want and I can't wait to be a mom one day. And obviously not wanting to be, a teen mom at 16, but having that urge to want to have a child. And that's not something I ever felt. I'd never felt that urge or that need. And people would always tell me, oh, don't worry, you'll change your mind. And I never made the decision that I didn't want children, but I was pretty adamant that I had decided and I wasn't gonna do it just because society was telling me I needed to. It was something I was gonna decide eventually. And as the years progressed, I had a lot of conversations with different women about motherhood and children and, the birthing process and all these things. I met someone who didn't have children and had specifically chosen not to have children. It really opened up my eyes to something, and that was the fact that I don't need to have a child if I don't want to. Not something that is required of me. It's not something that I must do to be a good human. There was just a lot of societal pressures around that. After having many conversations with different people on the subject, I was pretty on the fence still, but I think was more leaning towards not having kids than having kids. Now, you guys have heard Luke and I's story, but something I didn't share with you guys was that on our second date, Luke and I had a really intense conversation about marriage and children and what we wanted for the future. One thing I really wanted was marriage. I wanted to be married and I wanted to have the big white wedding, and that was something that was really important to me. And Luke really didn't want kids. That's something he didn't see in his future, and it's not something he wanted in a partner. And so I was very glad that we had that conversation very early on about what we wanted and what we didn't want. And we both agreed that those were things that we were both okay with, that we would commit to financially, putting on and having this big day together, and that we were totally fine not having children. People will see that and will say to me, oh, well, you're not having kids because Luke doesn't want kids. And that's not true. I had to make that decision for myself. I would have never married Luke, and I wouldn't have kept on after date number 2 to have a relationship with this person if I really truly wanted children. The amount of people who have said such odd comments with regards to this issue, which it isn't even an issue, but to them they see it as an issue. And all of that changed when I became ill. When my chronic illness became something that I knew for the future was going to be something that was a part of my life, I saw this change in conversation when it came to my future. A lot of it stopped altogether. Not discussing, what are the next 5 years of your life, or what are you looking forward to next, or are you guys planning trips? Are you guys going to have kids? All of those conversations stopped. Because I think a lot of people have trepidations with regards to even asking those questions when you're going through medical difficulties. My difficulties have been ongoing for a very long time. We're into our 6th year now of complications with my chronic illnesses and my diagnoses, and it's something that is hard to plan for from a future perspective. The last year that's taught us anything is the fact that everything we had planned got thrown out the window. I truly don't know what the next year is going to bring for us. Is that due in part to my disability? Pretty much most of it, to be honest. And that's okay. Does that change how I feel about children or the future or what we truly want in life? No. A lot of the things we still want to do, like travel and all those things, we still want those things. Our 10-year plan, other than, we had more of a setback than anything the last year, hasn't really changed. We still want the same things for the future, chronic illness or disability or not. So my one thing I want you to really take from this, if you are a person with disabilities, is if you want children, don't let your disability stop you. I'm not saying it's going to come with its own set of challenges, but everyone has different sets of challenges when it comes to becoming a parent, especially a first-time parent. Ask any first-time parent how it went. I guarantee you it wasn't all shiny and rosy. That it'd be from the delivery process to, complications with when baby was born, all those things. Everyone has a story. And I don't want you to feel like your disability stops you from having a child. Now, does that necessarily mean that your body can't have a child in the sense of you literally having that child yourself? Maybe that's not possible for you, but that shouldn't stop you from wanting children. There are other ways to have kids in your life, and that it be, volunteering for a kids program, or, even going as far as, getting yourself a surrogate. Yeah, all those things are very complicated and come with their own complications, financial and everything else. But I don't want you to let your disability stop you from doing what you want. It really shouldn't. And though I've chosen not to have children, I don't want you to think that a disability should stop you from having children. I've had this perspective my entire life, that people believe it or not, it's truly how I felt. So don't let anyone stop you from being you. You need to look at your future as bright as anyone else. Your disability is not going to stop you. And yes, things are more challenging sometimes. And yes, things are not always as easy as they should be. But they shouldn't stop you from doing you and being you and doing what you think is best for you and your future. And so in this coming Father's Day this week, I want you to just process all the information I've given you and just think about these things, and don't let, family events and family perspectives change the way you think about what you want for your future. At the end of the day, do what you think is best for you. And what you decide today may not be the same conversation you have in 5 years from now, but know that you're following your path and your journey, and things can change, but just be strong to what you think is best for you. Do what you know inside of you is best for you, and only you can make that decision. I hope this video was helpful for you, and I hope you took something out of this video today. And if you did, I would love a like. We truly appreciate every like we get. They really do help us and help our channel grow. So thank you so much for liking this video. Until next time, don't forget to slow your roll.